Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day because it is another beautiful day here in Arizona. As you can see, the sun is out and my garage is clean so I can be inside. So today I want to talk about a post-ride inspection. And what is that? Well, let's jump right into it. So first thing you do post-ride is you empty everything out. So if you see, I kind of emptied everything out from my last video, put the windshield back on, and I cleaned it up. So I didn't do a deep clean. I literally just took the hose and towel dried it just a little bit. But it's still dusty, dirty. That's one of the beautiful things in Arizona. The dust sucks, but there's no mud. If you did go through the mud, you would need to clean that off. So before we get into the inspection, the reason I'm doing this is my wife asked me during the ride why I kept going out and I would just do a walk around. That's what we call it in the military. I'd walk around this vehicle every time we stopped for like a water break, a potty break, whatever. And what I was looking for, and this is part of my post-ride inspection, is I was looking for these. So if you look, I have a yellow paint pen that I've marked right here on all my stuff. And I have them on both sides, and I have them all the way around the vehicle, front and rear. So why did I do that? Well, I learned a long time ago in the military, we did it on all of our trucks because we'd have to inspect 20 or 30 trucks a day. And it was like a 4-man team, an A man, a B man, a C man, and then a driver, and everyone would have their own parts to inspect. And that would let us quickly inspect certain things like lug nuts very quickly. Well, by having a $2 or $3 paint pen, just shake it up and you mark everything after it's torqued, makes a post-ride or even an intermediate ride inspection really good. Now, if you're like me and you're driving and you start hearing something that's not normal, because most of the miles on this are mine, you know to pull over and look. And I knew immediately when I broke that ball joint clip that there was something wrong. And I knew it was from my front end. So this works really well. So after I get everything cleaned up and I check that, the next thing I do for my inspection is I like to gum up and I reach down and I grab a hold and I shake everything. And I go front, we go around to the back, I do the same thing back here. You just grab a hold and you're shaking. Now some of you may be asking, why are you shaking your A-arms, your tie rod, I grab the rims, I shake everything. And why am I doing that if I got paint pen and I can see that nothing's loosened up? By shaking it, I can tell if there's a bushing going, if something else is loose or broken, because even though those bolts are fine, it happens that you'll find that up here on the A-arm or down here, or even the A-arm mounts on the front will wallow out or egg shape. And that's from the bolts not being tight enough or the bushings wearing out within them because they're not getting greased enough or whatever reason. So your bolts can be nice and tight, they can be torqued down, but your bushings are going, or if I'm hearing a clunking, but I know everything's tight, I need to do a little bit more inspecting on that. So the next thing I do on my post-ride inspection is, it's nice right now, I'll pop open everything and I will check the oil. I'll check the coolant. The coolant's nice and easy. You just come up for the coolant, you get your flashlight, you come up and you can check behind the horn and you can see the minimum and maximum up there with a flashlight. I'll check my brake fluid level. And that's about it for a post-ride inspection, other than if I change the air pressure on my tires. A lot of times I don't. I check my tires every couple of weeks. I leave them all about 20 psi. So I know with the last ride I changed the compression of my shocks. Well, I've already turned them back down to 5 because I now have no more weight back there. With that big cooler hanging off the end, both my kids, the tool bags, and I was carrying everyone else's stuff because all these sport side-by-sides, they didn't have any extra room to carry their own waters and whatnot. So my cooler was like the party cooler. So other than that, that's my post-ride inspection and intermediate. I do get way more thorough with the oil changes. I know the oil change is coming up due in about 200 miles where we'll change the air filter. I know that's getting pretty dirty. We'll get the oil changed. I like to do the sub transmission at the same time as an oil change. Now I know Honda says it's every 2 years. You know what, while you're in there, these engines run such high RPMs, it's going through everything. It's less than a quart. I change everything at once. Now that we've done the post-ride inspection, we're gonna go ahead and do the next modification, which is the seat belt override. And the reason I'm installing a seat belt override, and it's a 5-minute install, is when I want to use my harnesses, I still have to plug the seat belts in, or I have to buy a dummy plug like this to put in there. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to install the seatbelt override. What that's going to do is it's basically just a jumper wire. It's a small kit, but you know what? It's nice because it's reversible. So when my kids get older, I can put it back if they start driving this. It alleviates the 12-mile-an-hour speed limits without wearing your seatbelt. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to order one of these little kits. Now, I'll put a link in the description below of where I got this, and I bought this off the Honda side-by-side forum. And what's in this kit? Well, right here. This is it. So you got your plug as a jumper, and then just a filler right there to keep the dust out. You can see there's red glue in there. So this is really, really simple. It's a 5-minute job. So I went ahead, I took the seat bottom off, and then you remove this one flap right there, okay? So here, if you can see, is the wires going to your seat belts. They come around and they're plugged in right here. So easiest way to show you is if you look at this, there's this little tab right there. All I did was I took my pick, I pushed down in that tab to get it out. So once you get it out, let's take your plug it in, you got your jumper. Take the dummy plug, go ahead, come over here, just, you hear the pop. Now, this does come with this zip tie, so you can go back and you can zip tie it to your harness. So this is fully reversible. Now, I know some people are just taking these 2 wires right here, cutting them, stripping them back, soldering the ends, twisting the ends, and that's great, but that doesn't make it fully reversible. Once we get that done, go ahead and nip this off, and that's it. So the only tool I needed was this pick. We'll take this cover, put the heat shield back on. This is that heat fix Honda did, and the seatbelt override is as simple as that. So just remember, if you're going to do the seatbelt override, do it at your own risk. Honda put it there for a safety reason. I really do like it, but when you're using your harness, it just kind of sucks. So there you have it. There's my post-ride inspection after getting everything cleaned up, and what I do mid-ride. So when I walk around it, I'm just looking for those paint pens, and my seatbelt override. Link is in the description below for the seatbelt override. Paint pens you can get anywhere. I think that one was from Harbor Freight for a couple dollars. You can order a plethora of different colors. I just grabbed a bright yellow one. They're a little hard to get started, but they're well worth the investment to have in your toolkit. So don't forget to give me a big thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.